Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star original continent based on novel. So let's start. The three great ancestral gods, being the spokespeople of the willpower of the primal universe origin, were now surrounded by colorful lights that contained the power of various laws of gold, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, electricity, light, time, and space. And these lights were consistently exuding an endless, oppressive force. Clearly, this was not something that these three ancestral gods could achieve on their own. This was obviously achieved with the support provided by the willpower of the primal universe origin. To a certain extent, it could also lend credibility to the words of the three great ancestral gods, proving that their claims were not baseless or random. That miniature universe we have all tried before. Mere contact with the walls of its membrane will bring one to annihilation. There is simply no way in. Right away, great beings began firing persistent questions. Doubleface Ancestral God, one of the three great ancestral gods, who was seated to the side, spoke up. If you intend to intrude and barge your way through, then there will certainly not be a way in. This world of Jinn is extraordinary. Under normal circumstances, even after thousands and millions of reincarnation eras, it remains unborn. However, when everything in the vast universe ocean has a universe law to adhere to, that time will be the time for its proper birth. No one bothered asking how they should enter. This information from Doubleface Ancestral God was enough to cause a stir among the various groups of top powers from universe ocean. Proper birth. What did he mean by proper birth? Under normal circumstances, even after thousands and millions of reincarnation eras, it would remain unborn. What exactly happened? Luo Feng was taken aback and transmitted a voice message to Primal Chaos City leader beside him. Teacher, after hearing what the three great ancestral gods had to say, the birth of this world of Jinn seems to have a special meaning to it. Yes. Primal Chaos City leader nodded solemnly. Everything has its own laws. The willpower of the primal universe origin may be very strong, but it is also very detached, so it cannot differentiate between good and bad. It can only adhere to the most fundamental rules. Even when dealing with a single universe master like Yuan Ao Master, or dealing with Great Thunderstar Master, it must draw on the support of other great beings. Obviously, it is not invincible, so even against Teacher Origin, the most the willpower of the Origin could do was keep him under suppression. There is no way it could annihilate Teacher Origin. Luo Feng nodded. It was true. Everything seemed to have a predestined set of laws to adhere to, and apparently, under normal circumstances, this massive object should not have been born. Yet now, it had undergone a proper birth. Obviously, this meant that this period had entered into a special phase that was different from the other reincarnation eras. The most handsome ancestral god, a being with fine, delicate features and a red-scaled tail, who looked nothing older than a youth, spoke. Internally, the world of Jinn is fraught with endless predicaments, yet it also contains endless opportunities. It is more special compared to the other three most dangerous lands. That massive object was of no use at all to universe ocean. Its true significance lay in the world of Jinn that resided within its body. If you want to enter the world of Jinn, you must wait for the right opportunity. The power of the universe membrane wall periodically switches from strong to weak. When it turns black, its power is at its strongest. When it turns white, its power is at its weakest. That is when most ordinary universe masters can easily penetrate it. Each cycle is approximately 1 era long. Everyone, we just need to wait. Wait for the membrane walls of that world of Jinn to turn white. Then we can enter. Hearing the words of this ancestral god, the various groups of top powers instantly grew restless and itchy for action. Periodic cycles. At that point, a handful of great beings wanted to take off and rush into the world of Jinn right away. But the moment they heard that a single cycle took as long as an era, they had to suppress their heightened emotions in order to continue listening. The world of Jinn is mysterious and unpredictable, the old ancestral god in the middle said. Within the world of Jinn, there are many living souls. Living souls? What? There are living souls there. A few thousand top-tier existences from all over universe ocean were shocked. Luo Feng was astounded, too. The three most dangerous lands of the universe, boat did not have any living souls. The living souls of the world of Jin can only survive in the world of Jin. They cannot come out, the old ancestral god continued. The moment they leave, they are bound to die. If you all enter, what you bring out when you exit will only be lifeless things. If you have brought a living soul out, it will be the same as killing it. Also, the world of Jin contains a secret on transcending reincarnation. This gathering was already a powder keg, and now, thousands of beings were getting even more worked up. The secret on transcending reincarnation. Was this not what they all yearned for? Remember, said the old ancestral god. The secret to transcending reincarnation is the secret of the world of Jin. Upon entering, you can explore and seek what you yearn for. But the moment you leave the world of Jin, everything you learn from it must be kept to yourself. Absolutely nothing must be leaked to the outside world. Of course, even if you want to, there is no way to leak anything from the world of Jin. Everyone seemed to be deep in thought. Luo Feng understood right away. It was just like how he received the inheritance of the pulse of Duan Dong Rive. He simply could not find anything more profound. It was like how Sitting Mountain Guest had bestowed upon him the 9-volume manual. Sitting Mountain Guest had needed to pay a hefty price before he could impart the manual to a single disciple. Obviously, there was an intangible kind of law that was influencing everything. The secret of transcending reincarnation. The secret of the world of Jin. Luo Feng could feel the upsurge of emotions. He was aware that for many generations of reincarnations, the world of Jin had not been born. This time, its birth was the closest he would likely get to the secret of Universe Ocean. World of Jin, the fourth most dangerous land of Universe Ocean, the old ancestral god said. All of you must bear in mind, when the opportunity arrives, a crisis also lies in wait. The world of Jin is much more dangerous than even Tilted Peak Sector, flowing countless mountains, and Universe Boat. Let's go. The three ancestral gods looked at one another, then immediately vanished into thin air and left. The thousands of great beings from Universe Ocean were also incomparably fast in returning to their palace true treasures. The large group of great beings from the Hong Alliance also returned to the boat of Mausoleum immediately. The three generations of ancestral gods played the roles of the spokespeople of the willpower of the primal universe origin, and they were mainly tasked with conveying messages and guidance. However, the various groups of top powers from Universe Ocean did not dare to commit their full belief in everything they received. They still explored cautiously. Suddenly, they discovered that the entire route from the point where they entered until they reached the natural wormhole was danger-free. And the moment they went through the wormhole, they would arrive at a secret space where they would see a miniature universe, the world of Jin. Luo Feng, no great being has ever set foot in the world of Jin to explore it, and yet, you are going in now. Just like that, said Primal Chaos City Leader. It is too dangerous. If an accident happens, the loss you incur will be far too great. Luo Feng was carrying numerous true treasures on him. If he were to suffer a loss, it would, indeed, be massive. Teacher, I simply cannot bring myself to give up such an opportunity, Luo Feng said. Besides, I have other bodies. Even if I fail, I still have the chance to pick myself up from the fall. Teacher, please be at ease. Luo Feng divided his force into two different routes. He condensed part of his godly power to form his Mosha body, which would take one of the two routes. Mosha body would take Shawu Wings and Star Tower and return to the primal universe. After all, everything about the world of Jin was unknown. If all his true treasures were brought in at the same time, the moment he failed, everything would be lost. By that time, it would be too late for regrets. His earthling original body and golden horned beast would take Blood Ghost Blade and the boat of Mausoleum and set off on the other route, preparing to head into the world of Jin. Following the route along the natural wormhole, they arrived at another space. The boat of Mausoleum was suspended in mid-air, as Luo Feng looked out from his location, and saw a miniature universe far in the distance. It was dark blue in color, a clear sign that it was not yet the time to enter. Even without any true treasure, given my current combat power, I can still stand at the apex of universe ocean all the same. Luo Feng was full of confidence, but was unwilling to put all his true treasures at stake. That was why he had sent Shawu Wings and Star Tower back. But he still brought with him Blood, Ghost Blade and the Boat of Mausoleum to charge his way through. Those two would be more than enough. Wait. Wait for the moment to enter this world of Jin. The Boat of Mausoleum waited silently. Judging by its outer appearance, the dark blue miniature universe seemed to only have a diameter of around 10 million light-years. However, its power was stronger than any other universe Supreme Master's miniature universe by countless times. In its surroundings, numerous palace true treasures were suspended. Great beings from every single group of power from the entire universe ocean would be waiting. Of course, this was being treated as a dangerous land that no other great being had ever dared to explore before, and so, not many groups of powers dared to charge their way in with full force. Most of them had sent a very small number of their great beings to conduct a prior round of exploration. There were more than 200 great beings, including Universe Supreme Masters, all seeking to be among the first to explore the world of Jin. Over 200 great beings were waiting outside the world of Jin, ready to enter to begin their exploration. On the other hand, various groups of top powers from Universe Ocean were mostly on their return journeys. For example, the strike force from the Hong Alliance was heading for the primal universe as fast as they could. That was why, at that moment, other than the world of Jin, which was contained within its body, the other parts of the gigantic, human-shaped life form had regained peace and quiet and were no longer as boisterous with activities like earlier. Only a few great beings had stationed themselves in the void space. Ripples appeared in the space. A lone figure appeared out of nowhere. On his forehead was a pair of crystal horns, and he wore a black robe that radiated black light. It was none other than Sitting Mountain Guest. Sitting Mountain Guest had arrived earlier than any of them, yet no matter who had previously come to explore, or the message that the three ancestral gods had conveyed to the public, not a single one of them noticed Sitting Mountain Guest's presence. Luo Feng, too, did not realize that Teacher Sitting Mountain Guest was around. He had even tried to ask about Sitting Mountain Guest through his transmission token, but there had been no reply from him. Sitting Mountain Guest stood amidst the void space and looked quietly at the gigantic, human-shaped life form ahead of him. Silently, he looked at it. His gaze penetrated through time and space to cover every inch of its body. He scrutinized its hair, eyes, nose, ears, mouth, and even the ancient armor it wore. Thoroughly, he looked at the humanoid life form, as though he was observing an incredibly precious treasure. Finally, Sitting Mountain Guest mumbled to himself. It has arrived. He made his way forward one step at a time. Teleporting ahead, he very quickly landed on its body. After his feet touched down on the vast, rolling mountain range, Sitting Mountain Guest took several steps forward. Every step was a teleportation. He reached the finger of the humanoid figure, then went on to the shoulder and eventually to the waist. There was a ruptured spot due to a wound, a place where something had broken through the armor. Sitting Mountain Guest caressed the ruptured spot on the armor. At 9 million light-years long, it was impossibly huge. Ha! Suddenly, Sitting Mountain Guest let out a burst of hoarse laughter. Ha ha! Ha 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 ha! Sitting Mountain Guest laughed heartily and loudly. He was laughing so hard that his entire body trembled. He was laughing so crazily that, gradually, the laughter evolved into something bitter, forlorn, and shrill. It contained hysteria steeped in hatred and insanity. The laughing slowly came to a stop. Sitting Mountain Guest sat down slowly, then caressed the armor. Golden, crystalline tears fell soundlessly. It's here. It has arrived, he said as he caressed the armor with trembling hands. World of Jin. The primal universe origin is known as the world of Jin. Sitting Mountain Guest mumbled to himself. Jin. Jin. The willpower of the primal universe origin has no emotions. How can it remember Jin? Sitting Mountain Guest raised his head to look at the vast void space overhead. The chaotic airflow in the void space was revolving, and an overpowering willpower lurked there. "I won't be as foolish as Teacher Origin," said Sitting Mountain Guest. "I will give you a chance." He shook his head, then took a single step forward and vanished within the void space. 1,800 years passed, and the membrane of the miniature universe, the world of Jinn, kept changing from dark blue to light blue. And one day, it turned white. True treasure palaces floating outside the world of Jinn started to move. "It's turned white. We can enter now. Let's go." More than 200 great beings flew toward the world of Jinn, and tried to use their weapons to poke the membrane first. Then they realized that although the membrane was still exerting great power, godly bodies of universe masters could easily get through. After confirming that they could get through, the first true treasure palace flew in. Other true treasure palaces followed, including Luo Feng's boat of Mausoleum. The world of Jinn seemed to have a diameter of 10 million light-years from the outside, and the great beings entered it from different areas so they wouldn't gather. After the silver boat made it through the membrane of the miniature universe, it immediately rushed into the world of Jinn. Luo Feng's godly power sensed the inexplicable force around him. It was a power so pleasing that his entire soul was as cheerful as a fish returning to a lake from a desert. This amazing sensation mesmerized Luo Feng. "It feels so good. There's no restraint at all." Luo Feng was happily surprised. Rampaging Devil God was exhilarated. "Ha ha ha. This world of Jinn is awesome. There's no restraint at all, and I can utilize all my godly power." He drove his palace true treasure, diving downward. He landed quickly on an ancient and endless land. There were towering mountains around him. The sky and land were filled with energy, and compared to the chaos air in Universe Ocean, the energies made Rampaging Devil God much more comfortable. This is where great beings should live. Rampaging Devil God was exhilarated. He roared. Howl! A streak of light flashed, and it was 1,000 times faster than light speed. A being with 3 heads, 1 golden one and 2 silver ones, appeared in front of Rampaging Devil God. All the heads had giant fangs. The 3 tails were like barbed metal whips. The strange, giant beast looked down at Rampaging Devil God and roared, F***ck off. This is my land. Rampaging Devil God could tell from the force of that strange beast that he was also a Universe Supreme Master. A Universe Supreme Master. Rampaging Devil God was astounded. Although the ancestral gods had mentioned that there were creatures in the world of Jinn, he was still surprised to discover that the first creature he met was a Universe Supreme Master. F***ck off, the strange beast roared in anger again, giving another alert. Rampaging Devil God was even more dazed. He could understand the language, but he had no idea how to speak it. The language used by the strange, giant beast was very special. Even if one hadn't learned it, he could easily understand its meaning. Rampaging Devil God didn't know how to speak it. Rampaging Devil God opened his mouth, yet he didn't know what to say. I. Howl. The strange giant beast was furious. He didn't attack, as he could tell that Rampaging Devil Master was as powerful as he was, yet this individual, who was gleaming with golden light, ignored him as if he was provoking him. He turned into a streak of light, and 3 curves of light appeared in the sky left by the 3 tails of the strange giant beast. They swept toward Rampaging Devil God, who tried to dodge them. Suddenly, 3 giant gullies showed up on the ground. Rampaging Devil God grew anxious. He wanted to transmit his voice using his godly power. Under normal circumstances, he could totally transmit his voice to convey what he was thinking. However, his blurry godly power was destroyed by the giant strange beast as soon as it was sent. The giant strange beast grew more furious. Soul attack. Rampaging Devil God felt helpless. He couldn't even transmit his voice. I won't fight you, said Rampaging Devil God. Howl. The strange giant beast charged at him. More than 200 great beings from Universe Ocean arrived. They were exhilarated to get into the world of Jinn, as it was a wonderful world. Of course, Few were as unlucky as rampaging devil god, who had met a true god right as soon as he entered. The silver boat landed on a vast plain. Then it disappeared, and Luo Feng, clad in silver armor, showed up. He wore only crazy demon extermination, godly armor, and he a pinnacle soul true treasure to protect his soul. He was also carrying blood shadow blade. By all appearances, out of all his equipment, only blood shadow blade was special. This was his first time here, so he hadn't brought his most powerful valuables. What a beautiful world. Luo Feng took a deep breath. A fresh, powerful force infused his body, and it was turned into godly power. I can transform something into godly power that easily. In the original universe, I can only do that by using the law ocean. I can't believe I can transform the energies into godly power so easily. It is such a stable world. Luo Feng's godly power trembled. There weren't even any ripples in the space around him. It was stable beyond Luo Feng's imagination. Beautiful, stable, and majestic, Luo Feng was amazed. It was a perfect world, and it might actually contain the ultimate secret of universe ocean. A great being flew forward, stepping on the ground. He was fast and landed in front of Luo Feng immediately. It was a child with 2 black braids in his hair. He clutched a large piece of meat in his hands as he looked at Luo Feng. "Outsider," said the child, "this is the land of dry wilderness tribe. Why are you here? Are you one of the travelers our elders talk about?" Luo Feng was shocked by the language spoken by the child. The indigenous being in front of him was very mediocre. He was merely an emperor undying. However, the language he was using was that which had been used to document the information in the memory stones of Duan Dong River. Apparently, this was the common tongue of the ancient civilization. With the inheritance from the ancient civilization, Luo Feng had easily learned this language. Luo Feng nodded and spoke in the common tongue. "That's right, I am a traveler." "Wow. I want to be a traveler as well. However, I need to become a law knight before I can do that." There was envy in the child's eyes. In the virtual universe, Luo Feng and Primal Chaos City Leader stood at the top of Thunder Island. "I've entered the world of Jin," said Luo Feng. "I can confirm that it's an incredible and extraordinary world. It's far beyond our imagining, and the language they use is the common tongue of the ancient civilization. I know this language, teacher. I'll leave the information about the language in the virtual universe. The indigenous creatures in World of Jin are using the common tongue of the ancient civilization." Primal Chaos City Leader was startled. Then the world of Jin might be a remnant left behind by the ancient civilization. No wonder there are secrets about incarnation transcendence in it. The language is indeed important. It is the most important factor in integrating with the indigenous creatures. The world of Jin. Luo Feng carried his blade, and under the invitation of the child, he headed toward Dry Wilderness Tribe. During his conversation with the child, he could tell that there were many beings who started to travel around when they became Law Universe Knights. Law Knights must be Universe Knights, thought Luo Feng. Law Masters must be Universe Masters. That's our tribe. The child was excited. He. Fly. 2 beings standing 100,000 kilometers tall were fighting in the distance. One held a blade, and the other held a spear. They were hitting each other like gods. One was blasted away, rolled, and hit the mountainside in the distance. A universe master. Luo Feng was thrilled. It seems they both have perfect life gene levels. Kill. Luo Feng carefully tried to sense the area. He saw there were many more great beings fighting in the distance. They were all universe masters. "The warriors of my tribe are training," said the child. "There are a billion creatures in my tribe, and they are all incredible warriors. They became law masters after countless battles." A billion creatures. Thoughts flooded Luo Feng's mind. Incredible. It seems that it's also difficult to become a universe master in the world of Jin. He extrapolated as much as possible while he speaking with the child. After all, he knew nothing about the world of Jin. Luo Feng and the child kept flying closer to the tribe. Luo Feng spotted 3 towering beings standing in the sky. They were all exceptionally powerful. They wore black armor and carried hammers and axes. Their forces permeated the area. True gods. 3 true gods. Luo Feng was shocked to have found 3 true gods so soon after entering the world of Jin. How powerful did that make the rest of the world of Jin? It was such an exceptional world, yet according to ancestral gods, the creatures living here would die instantly if they entered Universe Ocean. It was a powerful world, yet it was under heavy restraint. There was, indeed, a huge secret behind this place. Luo Feng grew more cautious. There were 1 billion members in the Might Dry Wilderness tribe. They had seen many creatures, like Luo Feng, who traveled around the world to sharpen themselves. It was so common that he wasn't even received by the seniors of the tribe. However, he was still warmly welcomed by hundreds of families around the child's family. Some great beings even came to fight Luo Feng. This race is obsessed with fighting, Luo Feng sighed. On a towering mountain, the strange giant beast and rampaging devil god were fighting each other. Moran. Is that all you've got? Rampaging devil god roared. Come, come, come. You've angered me, roared the strange, giant beast. Angered me. Rampaging devil god behaved even more recklessly, and didn't back down. He thought, I learned how to pronounce anger. Great beings had great memories. Nobody had ever spoken that kind of language in Universe Ocean, so rampaging devil god couldn't understand a word of it at the start. He listened to the pronunciation of that strange giant beast, and he could decipher the meaning of the common language of the ancient civilization. He could infer the meaning that corresponded to each word. It was very easy to learn a language that way. Rampaging devil god kept provoking the strange giant beast as he attempted to learn the pronunciation of each word. After half an hour of fighting, he had learned the pronunciation of more than 300 words. You're not strong enough. Not strong enough. Rampaging devil god yelled. How? The giant strange beast was furious. This outsider had armor to protect his body, so it was difficult to fight him. As for the giant beast, he moved without any burden, and he didn't have any precious armor from the land he randomly occupied. I'm angering you, angering you, angering you. Rampaging devil god roared, using the word he had just learned. The giant strange beast stopped. Damn, damn you. Rampaging devil god was joyful. He had just learned the pronunciation of the word damn. He wasn't stupid. He had met a true god instantly after entering the world of Jin. Apparently, the indigenous creatures were powerful beyond imagination. It was important to learn the language, and the best way to learn it was to talk to a certain creature. I'll keep bullying you to force you to talk. I only seek to wrong you anyway, rampaging devil god thought. You? Damn you. The giant strange beast looked up and roared. Come here. This guy is a handful, and he has armor. Kill him and divide the trophies. The voice was transmitted via godly power, and the limit speed in the world of Jin was 10,000 times faster the speed of light in the original universe. After only a few seconds, great beings burst out from different places in the mountains, and they were all ferocious, strange beasts. Rampaging devil god looked around. 12 beings appeared in the sky, and all of them were true gods. You ask for help. Rampaging devil god roared and tried to retreat like a streak of light. Seize him. Don't let him run. He has armor. Capture him. The giant, strange beast and the 12 beings flew in all directions and encircled rampaging devil god. There were many members in the dry wilderness tribe. In one area, 2 beings were fighting like 2 streaks of light. Luo Feng's foot bore a gleaming golden light, and it struck the chest of his competitor like a burning star. The giant man rolled over and hit a hill in the distance. Rocks fell from the hill. Milky Way. The rolling man flew over, holding a black stick. He roared, that was impressive, I couldn't even resist it. I've fought many travelers who came here before, and none of them was as powerful as you. Hundreds of children watching the fight in the distance all flew over. The leader of the children cheered. Uncle Milky Way must have been to lots of tribes. Ha ha. Luo Feng strolled the leader of the child, who was named Jin Mo Yi. Luo Feng had been in the dry wilderness tribe for 3 days. In that time, he had pretended to be a common traveler obsessed with fighting. He learned more and more about the world of Jin during these conversations and battles with the warriors from the dry wilderness tribe. First of all, the world of Jin was an enormous world. Luo Feng didn't know the actual number, but he knew that the world of Jin had a diameter of at least 1 trillion light-years. Although this miniature universe looked small from the outside, it was much bigger inside, much larger than the Holy Lands. Only the original universe was bigger than world of Jin. The world of Jin is indeed incredible. Luo Feng looked at the little child, Jin Mo Yi, beside him and sighed. There were countless tribes in the world of Jin. They fought each other for territory to survive, and their warriors were extraordinary as well. Besides, all creatures born in the world of Jin would become undying when they matured. They took the energies from the world of Jin from birth, and as time went by, they mastered a law. Everyone could become undying, and after some training, they could become law knights, universe knights. However, it was very difficult to become law masters, universe masters. Normally, only 1 out of 100 ordinary warriors, law knights, could become a law master. As for true treasures, it was rarer. And those more powerful than true treasures were exceptional. However, based on his conversations with the locals, there must have been beings more powerful than true gods, as there was one in dry wilderness tribe. He was the greatest being of the tribe, and he was also their pride and joy. It was their leader, Dry Wilderness. Because of the power of this leader, the status of Dry Wilderness tribe was very stable. Incarnation Transcendence, Incarnation Transcendence. Luo Feng was excited upon hearing the news. Surpassing true gods meant successfully transcending incarnations. There was a powerful being that surpassed true gods in Dry Wilderness tribe, which meant there must have been lots of beings like this in the world of Jin. It was right for the powers from Universe Ocean to come to the world of Jin to look for chances of transcending incarnations. On the 6th day of Luo Feng's stay in Dry Wilderness tribe, he was talking to his best friend here, Northern Wind. Northern Wind, he said. I'm leaving. Leaving? Are you continuing traveling? Said Northern Wind. Northern Wind was a highly gifted warrior, and the entire tribe believed he could become a true god. He was also the most powerful universe master that Luo Feng had fought. Of course, Luo Feng could still suppress him, which was why they admired each other. No. I'm joining the military this time. Luo Feng looked into the distance. The military. Northern Wind's eyes gleamed. Yes. There was a measure of expectation in Luo Feng's voice. I've been traveling for a long time, so it's time for me to join the military. I want to be stronger, so I want to join the military of the king. That's the best way. That's where countless great beings of the world of Jin gather. After learning lots of information from the tribe, Luo Feng knew that the tribes in the world of Jin also called this world World of Jin. Besides, the entire world had a common master, Majesty of Godly King. Luo Feng knew that the world of Jin was only one power that belonged to the great Majesty of Godly King, and it was for honing great beings. Only supreme beings were summoned by Majesty of Godly King, left the world of Jin, and fought for him. To fight for Majesty of Godly King was the desire of all the indigenous creatures in the world of Jin. However, Majesty of Godly King hadn't taken supreme beings from the world of Jin for a long time. Luo Feng was astounded when he learned this information. The entire world of Jin belonged a single king. Because of the inheritance from Duandong River, Luo Feng knew that there were many powers in the ancient civilization. Wu was one such power, and the supreme leader of Wu was the so-called Majesty. That was the information Luo Feng got from the inheritance. The previous Duandong River was bestowed with the name Wu, and it was an incredible honor. In the military of the world of Jin, only those most talented and bravest elites could be bestowed the name Jin. And Majesty of Godly King hadn't summoned warriors from his world of Jin for a long time. Luo Feng extrapolated that Wu and Jin must be different powers from the ancient civilization. Duandong River was from the Wu team, the world of Jin was from the Jin team. Majesty of Godly King hadn't summoned great beings for a long time. The world of Jin was in universe ocean now, and it was in the human-shaped object. Luo Feng extrapolated that the great majesty of Godly King from Jin might have died, and that human figure was majesty of Godly King. That godly body is so powerful that it can crash universe boat. The shock waves can annihilate supreme true treasures, and the breath inside his body could annihilate supreme true treasures. That's a supreme being from the ancient civilization. The ancient civilization was mighty. Universe boat, Duandong River, the black striped stone pillar, boat of mausoleum, Shawu Wing. He could tell from everything that had been left behind. But even though the ancient civilization had been powerful, it hadn't ended well. The beings in the world of Jin were lucky to still be alive. However, they couldn't leave the world of Jin at all. If they did, they would die instantly. The world of Jin was for cultivating great beings for the military, which was why a portion of warriors at the Law Master level would be taken away. They would spend a long time in the military, after which they could retire. If they were layabouts, however, they would be hunted by the entire world of Jin. The military was the most powerful force in the world of Jin. There were lots of pieces of armor in the military. The so-called supreme true treasures were only outfits for true gods. There were also lots of inheritances. However, the elimination rates in the military were very high. And if someone was eliminated, he would die. It was so ruthless that fewer than 5 out of 100 who entered the military survived. There were many benefits to joining the military. 99% of the great beings in the world of Jin, including those stronger than true gods, gathered in the military. The core secrets were shared only there, which was why Luo Feng had to go. He believed that with the inheritance from Duandong River, he could earn a place in the military. Are you going to the military? Northern Wind roared. Wait. There will be a group of warriors from my tribe going, and I'll join as well. We can go together. Oh? Luo Feng nodded. Then let's join the military together. This video will end here.